Haha, it's
it!
not just me.
Nailed it, like a boss. Here we are. Welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Welcome to Tentacle Tuesday, Pendragon's Parish, our brand new Call of Cthulhu Dark Ages mini campaign. And leading us through the dark times, Tom. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for letting me do this. I thought I wanted to do like a little mini Call of Cthulhu series. And then I realized what the cast was and thought, oh god, I'm doomed. It's just going to be chaos. So I'll do my best. But if they end up going to the moon, you know why. Because of all these lovely people. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to get this into it. I hope you all enjoy it. Just really excited to get started.
Awesome. Let's dive across to our special guest, who is joining us today, the wonderful J. Prue Inc., veteran of Call of Cthulhu.
Hey, how's it going? It's good to be back on Tentacle Tuesday. What is this, 2018? Huh? Are we back? Anyway, I'm so happy to be back even for a limited time, and I hope that I don't die in this adventure, because I can play in one more. So I'd like to die in that one, Tom, if that's cool. But I leave that's in your hands.
I'll think about it.
And I'm going to be playing Osric Sin, who's a local alderman of this county.
Awesome. Let's drop down to the wonderful Will Jones, normally in the GM seat for Call of Cthulhu, but today a player.
I know. And it's been years doing DMing Call of Cthulhu, and now I feel suddenly vulnerable underneath Tom as I find myself suddenly thrust into this world. No, I'm ready. I'm gonna be playing Niall Affatep today. Oh wait, no, I'll be playing one of those fleshlings. I will be playing Father Benedictus. He is a priest, and he is traveling to this village on a pilgrimage to Rome. And I can't see anything going wrong for this man, but that's all I'll reveal about him for now. I'm excited.
A kindly father. Let's hop across to the beautiful Amelia Tyler.
Hi, thanks. This is all my own hair. I'm not regretting my wig decisions at all. It's very hot today. I've got one of these.
Don't ask her where she keeps it.
No, don't. I mean, you know, but don't ask. Basically, if I pass out, just wing it. I am going to be playing Lady Alice Hornwright today, who's very, very nice. She's very, very nice. And I think that's all I'm going to say about her for now.
Susanna Grace is looking suspicious. Hi, Susie. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing real good. I'm very excited to play some Cthulhu here with all my friends and fellow Chaos Monkeys. I'm sorry, Tom, in advance. But today I am playing Sanah, someone who may be familiar to some folks in the audience. She's big, she's buff, she's a me character. She's going to punch stuff. What can I say?
I adore a good promise of punches, and holding no punches when it comes to cosplay. The wonderful Love Lindy is back with us.
Hi. Yeah, that's me. I'm very excited to get back into Call of Cthulhu. I've missed Call of Cthulhu. I haven't played it in far too long. And I will be playing Ethelfrith Baxter, or Bakester, depending on how you pronounce words. And she's the town baker. She bakes, and she's very good at it. She's just happy and innocent and sweet, and I'm sure all of it's going to get ruined over the next several weeks, and I can't wait.
We love our pure, very good babies here on Call of Cthulhu. Nothing terrible ever happens to them. I, too, am playing a wee sweet bab here, who is literally a wee sweet bab, a young squire, Squire Thorn. Helpful little assistant to Sir Sanah. Never done anything wrong in my life, Gov. Thanks. Very excited to get into this and get into tonight's shenanigans. But before we do, why don't I let Past Charlie tell you all about our wonderful sponsors here on Encounter Roleplay. Past Charlie here to tell you about a few of our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice, providing us access to roles, tokens, maps, and more. You can try it today for free at fantasygrounds.com. While you're there, why not check out Fantasy Grounds Unity? World Anvil is a remarkable resource, whether you're a writer, GM, or player, organizing your campaign notes or building an entire world. Get forging today for free at worldanvil.com. And before we get into today's game, we'd like to shout out our friends at Andrews McMeel Publishing, who published the wonderful game Zweihander. If you haven't checked that out, you can catch it here on Wednesdays. We'd also like to mention Modiphius, who manage and produce a wide range of RPGs. Whether you feel like being Dishonored, exploring a tale from the loop, or boldly going with Star Trek adventures, why not check out modiphius.com. And we're back. Thank you very much, Past Charlie. Excellent roll down there on all of our wonderful sponsors. And I want to say a special thank you to Radiator RPG, who donated 100 bits and is very excited that we are here. Don't forget, you can interact with today's show by donating. Options are down below, or we'll throw them over in chat. You can also hit that clip button if you feel we are clip-worthy, as well as retweeting. We have already crossed our first retweet goal, Tom. So a random player of your choice is about to gain 1d6 luck.
All right, bear with me. How many players have we got? Just
6.
6? Okay, brilliant. What was that?
Player number 1.
Pruitt! Roll the 1d6, my man.
Roll a 1d6. I can do that to the guy who's barely going to be here. That's 5 more luck, baby.
Yep.
Taking me up to 70. I'm 55 years old in the Dark Ages with 70 luck. There's a reason why I'm still alive, people.
It pays.
And Tom, there is no further ado from me, so will you please take us to the Dark Ages?
Okay, no problem. I'll do my best. Hope everyone has fun. Let's get started. A vicious storm rages across the bleak countryside as an unnaturally clear sky illuminates the chaos below. Gnarled, thick trees bend and sway under a deafening wind, concealing the screams of cracking limbs and tearing roots from the frozen ground. The landscape is covered in an icy hell, drowning in a white sea of snow. A tornado of razor-sharp ice and snow mercilessly cuts through wood and stone alike, piercing like a sword through flesh, crumbling stone like the breaking of bread. Little crumbs scatter the land, the only remains of this deathly meal. At the center of this icy hellstorm, the Eye, silent, peaceful, sheltered from the raging storm mere few steps away. Snowflakes gently dance in the breeze, and a blanket of soft, untouched snow decorates the scene. 13 mounds in a line lay still. 13 stars shine in the clear night sky. Thorn. A single sharp scratch cuts into your flesh, and a drop of warm, steaming blood trickles down your forearm until it finally pools and falls to the white snow below you, as if a blotch of color on a painting, a single red stain in a canvas of white. Before you lay a swarm of crows pecking at something on the ground. Not far back, you see your 2 companions, one upon a horse, shivering in the cold, the other holding the reins and searching the forest that surrounds the frozen mud trail you have been following. You volunteered to scout ahead. What would you like to do?
Oh, my arm's a bit sore. Bloody crows, leave it alone! And they dart forward, and they basically kind of kick at any leaf litter and the snow to kind of scare the corvids away from whatever it is they're pecking at.
Okay, no problem. So you dash forward, and they shriek at you and scream, and they all turn to look at you. They don't fly just yet, they just look at you. It gives you a very uneasy feeling, almost like something you've seen before. After a very long second, the crows screech one more time and fly up into the sky.
Yeah, that's right. You remember my face. I'm not worried. And they take the steps forward to investigate whatever it is that the crows were so interested in protecting or hiding.
Okay. You step forward. Could you give me a spot hidden, please?
I sure can. $1d100. No, we sure can't, Tom.
Okay.
That's a 96 on the dice.
Okay, so you approach forward, and all you see before you is this kind of this frozen mound. You can kind of see where the crows have been pecking. A lot of it was frozen, and they couldn't really get through it. But to you, it's just a big frozen blotch.
I'm gonna just kick it a bit with my shoe and then look back to Sanah and Lady Alice and pretend like I was doing something important.
Okay. Lady Alice. A cold gust of wind bites through your core. All the furs in the world useless against its cut. Not even the warmth of the horse you sit upon assists against this wintry onslaught. White surrounds you in a picturesque scene, as beautiful as it is cold. The horse neighs below you and is instantly calmed by your travelling companion, whose eyes seemingly dart from tree to tree. You hear Thorn bell out, which catches your attention, and it seems like Thorn is gesturing you to come forward.
Sorry, did you need something?
Oh, no, I just wanted to tell you I scared the birds, so we're good to go.
Oh, good job. That's terribly clever of you. Well done.
Crows can be a
Is it all
fearsome
like this?
omen.
What? Omen? Of what?
Dunno, my mum just said they knew things sometimes.
Thorn Gioa. It's alright, my lady. It's alright. What did you find up there?
Oh, nothing, just a frozen lump. Crows must be hungry.
Frozen lump? Animal? What?
And Thorn comes around the horse and comes up to you. I think it's frozen shit, Sanah, but I don't want to say that in front of Lady Alice.
And she sort of nods and ruffles Thorn's hair. Alright.
It's very
Keep
beautiful
going on.
out here, isn't it?
I mean...
Could Lady Alice Sanah roll a spot hidden for me, please?
I can try.
The GM, please let someone notice what this frozen lump is.
Oh. I've seen a few frozen lumps in my time, I tell you.
Ah! Hard success.
Okay. Sanah, as you're kind of like escorting the horse through and you have a look at the frozen lump, you can quite clearly see that it's a carcass of a horse. It's been frozen over, and essentially the crows have been trying to peck through the ice to get to it. A certain part, primarily the leg, they've just about hit flesh, but it was a fair old way to go. Lady Alice, you notice it's a horse, but you can also see what seems to be a humanoid corpse underneath this as well. So there's like the body, and then there's a layer of snow, and you can quite clearly see that there's something underneath that snow that is like humanoid shape. And as you look at that, you stare up into the trees, and all you can see are just crows all around you, just staring at the scene below you.
Oh, look at that. They're hugging. Isn't that lovely? Do you think they were trying to keep warm?
I don't know, my lady, but I've heard many phrases used to explain the embrace of death. I can't say hugging's one of them. Where are you from exactly?
Oh, just north of here. I've never been this far south on there before. Oh. We prefer to use slightly nicer words for, the D word.
What, death?
The long sleep, the cuddle,
Dicking about.
No, Thorn, that's the other thing.
Oh.
All right. Thorn, do you want to take Lady Alice down the road a little bit? I'm gonna see if our friend here has anything interesting on him.
Good eating on a horse.
So I thought.
I prefer to eat sitting on the ground.
Oh my god. Thorn. And Sanah will hand the reins over to Thorn.
Maybe if we find somewhere dry and warm, Lady Alice. It's a bit wet round here.
Oh, that would be lovely. Yes, thank you.
Come on,
Okay, so-
horse.
So Thorn leads the horse away with Lady Alice on. So Sanah, what would you like to do?
I want to bash away at this ice to try and get to this corpse. Now it's been pointed out to me.
Okay, could you give me a strength roll, please?
Oh, sure can. Watch me roll a 99 on this. 46, which, hang on. My strength is stupid. Hang on. Where's my strength?
It's pretty high,
Oh.
I think.
It's 70 is my strength, so yeah. We good.
Yeah.
I succeed.
Okay. So you head around where the horse is, and now that Lady Alice has pointed it out, you can quite clearly see. You kind of sweep some of the softer snow away from it, and then you get your boot and you just crack down on it. And after about 2 kicks, it's cracked, and you're able to kind of peel some of the ice away. As you crack down, you hear a crunch, and you quite clearly have probably broken a few ribs, gone through a few ribs, but shit happens.
Don't need it at all.
Roll me a spot hidden, please, to see if you can find anything.
Okay. Ooh, hang on. That's a success.
A success? Okay.
Mhm.
You rifle through pots. The most you find is about 10 pennies, frozen pennies, in its pocket. But that's about it.
Hey, that's 10 more pennies than I had when we started. So she's just gonna put them in a little coin purse. Does any of this horse meat look salvageable?
I mean, from what you can tell, the horse has been dead at least a few days. You'd have to first cut through the ice to get to the flesh, and then you'd have to melt the flesh. Maybe. It would be a risk. It would be a risk.
She sits there for a minute and she looks over the corpse and the horse before she just fuck it, dusts her hands off and heads back to Lady Alice and Thorn.
It would have taken quite a long time to cut through it as well.
Yeah, not worth the effort.
Okay. So you head back to Thorn and Lady Alice, who are currently just went a little bit further and just trot very slowly, so it's very easy for you to catch up to one another. The trail before you, again, is just a frozen mud trail. There's trees all around you. Is there anything else you three would like to do?
Sanah just walks up and says, nothing on him.
Oh, well.
Just keep going, I
do
guess.
have a question for Lady Alice, since she's in a talking mood today. Lady Alice, why would you eat on the ground when you got those nice chairs?
Well, you know, sometimes it's nice to get out, you know. Pretend you're one of the common folk. It's fun to play pretend.
Yes.
What are those birds and why do they look so horrid?
They're crows.
Why are there so many of them? Are they having a party?
Well, I think a murder of crows is the name for a group, and they look so horrid because they're probably plotting something no good. And, well, they do remember faces, Lady Alice. So if they're looking at you, I'd turn away. Unless, of course, you want to be remembered, which is very good. I can understand why a noble woman would wish to be remembered.
Well, I shouldn't have thought I'd like to be remembered by birds, but, well, if they've got anything sinister in mind, and I reach
If they're
into my
bothering
pocket
you,
and pick out, like, whatever, like, a large denomination coin is that would probably make people's eyes bulge out of their heads. Just throw it pathetically across the grass. There you go.
Roll me a throw, Alice.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Oh, God. Okay.
Thorn cries in paw.
It
Okay.
goes 3 centimeters.
Okay, so she gets the coin and she kind of, and it's literally just rolls just off the road. And yeah, the crows just look.
There you go. Have a lovely time.
Sanah walks up, she takes the reins from Thorn and kind of gives her the head to like go digging in the gutter for the coin. And she pats the horse's neck and says, "Don't worry, my lady. They only go after them that have been, how did you put it, cuddled. You'll be all right."
Oh, gosh. Oh, there are lots of those. People getting dehydrated all over the place these days.
Stag just keeps walking. She doesn't know how to even react to this. She's just like, "Yep, my lady," and keeps walking.
I think Sanah sees Dawn turn to look at the knight and like mouth dehydrated. Is that a church thing?
Thorn, roll me a spot hidden to see if you can find the coin.
Oh, I really will. I'm very motivated by this coin, and I'll make a show as if I'm gonna sling at one of the birds, but really I'm just looking for a coin. Ooh, 28. My spot hidden. Ooh, where is that? I will spend 3 luck points to make that a success.
It's a success. Okay.
Yes.
It
It would cost me a lot more to make it more than a success.
You find it. You find the coin.
Yay.
It is the equivalent of 50 pennies.
Such riches never held by a thorn. It even shines. Bloody hell. In a deep pocket.
Okay, and you head back to the horse. Would you three like to describe yourselves? Because I forgot to do that. As you continue this journey down this frozen road.
Ladies first.
Oh, well, of course, naturally. Lady Alice is in her late 20s. Alarmingly attractive, like to the point of being distracting. But if you look into those big, beautiful eyes, you can see there's just nothing going on behind those windows. Eternally just sort of a slightly baffled smile on her face, or a very deep frown like she's trying to make sense of the whole world simultaneously.
Very tall as well, if I remember.
Yes, she is. She's just over 6 foot, I think we figured out. Yes, just tall and rangy and gangly, but doesn't register as a threat, but she's incredibly well put together. Everything's for effect. She's obviously been dressed by people who are trying to impress somebody.
Okay, so Sanah, what do you look like?
Sanah is also very tall because, hey, guess what? It's a Susie character. She's like 6'5". She's unusually tall, even for like a person of this age. She's broad. She is clearly well built with muscle, as you know, that big fat strength. Her face it might have been sort of averagely attractive were it not for her nose, which has clearly been broken a couple of times, and she has like a scar on her lip and a small one on her cheek. She has long dark hair, which is kept back by a simple like leather tie behind her, and she has a like rough wooden shield on her back. But she has some very nice, well-maintained boiled leather armor and a short sword hanging at her belt.
And Thorn, the squire, you can only tell they're scrawny because their neck is kind of skinny, but otherwise they appear bulky as they have these huge, heavy woolen clothes on, layered up. And you sense many of these clothes probably were not originally theirs, but have just been kind of added. They do what they can to keep it tidy, and amongst all these clothes there's a lot of pockets, and you can hear a clinking of glass. It almost sounds like metal maybe from about their person, which suggests there are lots of things hidden in said pockets. And around their neck, their pride, their joy, is a cowbell, which hangs on a rough length of rope.
Fantastic. So these three wonderful people continue down the road, this icy road, on to their journey. Okay. Ethelfrith. The sweet dancing tunes of a robin stirs you awake. Behind, a gleaming ray of sun rising over the trees brings a soft, if brief, warm relief of the bitter cold that has swept the village recently. Your breath tells tales of how cold it truly has become. The warm wool blanket still offers some slight protection against its bite, well enough for you to sleep. For a moment the world pauses, just the soothing music from the robin and your breath dancing to its tune. Ethelfrith! Come on, my little robin, time to wake up and work. The world starts up again, the robin flees, and the harsh winter snaps back.
She gets out quickly because it's better to just get it over with when it's really cold. Hurriedly puts on the layers of clothing that she's going to need. Not too many, because she's not going outside, and it gets hot in the kitchen. So she'll put on what she needs, just her bonnet, and then quickly head out to assist her mum.
Okay. You head out, and you can see your mother there. She looks very similar to you, so what do you look like?
So Ethelfrith is a short, plump redhead. She's probably about 5 foot. She's got very rosy cheeks. You could tell it looks like she gets to eat a lot of bread. She's definitely not one of the more emaciated villagers here in town. She's got big brown doe eyes and just kind of has a happy look on her face most of the time. Optimistic, you have to be. You're either optimistic or you're depressed. So, you know, she picked optimism. And she's got on a very simple dress with a little shawl because it's winter and an apron underneath it. Because she's got to get bacon.
Before you can see your mother. You see your mother. She has the same hairstyle, kind of the same. And she's there, and you can quite clearly see there is a simple table there. There is 2 chairs. There is a 3rd chair, but that's kind of like out to the side, up against the wall. That was your father's chair. And she is pouring what seems to be kind of like this very steaming liquid into a bowl for you. You'll know this is kind of like a broth that has been simmering all night long. so you have something warm to start the day with. And she puts it down, and she kind of sits down and just starts eating. He goes, "How did you sleep?"
I slept great, Mum. How'd you sleep?
Oh, you know what it's like. It's getting very cold, so very cold.
It's getting so cold. Like, the winter's just rolling in strong this year.
It was a good job we had a good summer. Otherwise, we might have been struggling.
We've got plenty of flour, wheat stored away, so we should be fine for the winter.
I'm sure the village will be fine. Now then, what I'll need you to do is go into the old mill and start making some more bread. All right? I'll be talking to Bram about distributing all what stores we got and where we can put it. Okay?
Okay, Mum.
Um,
She'll put on a cloak, heavy wool cloak, cinch it in close, and then go out. It's not far. It's just like next door. There's like a little covered walkway, but she's gotta hurriedly walk across.
As you go out, it's very cold, very, very cold, and you just wrap yourself up, and the cold air just hits you hard in the face. What little heat that you found in your little home was just immediately just extinguished by this cold. And as you start walking across, you could see the village starting to wake up. People going about their business, and you head over to the mill. You carry on with your work. Nothing really special happens. About a few hours into your work day, you have a look outside. The village is again a tiny little bit busier, but you see an unfamiliar face in this village. Will, could you describe what Father Benedictus looks like, please?
Yes, Father Benedictus is a man in his mid-40s. He looks pretty haggard in the eyes, with a big beard to stave off some of the cold. He has priestly robes that, while they may look to the layman to be quite simple, they're actually of quite fine quality. Perhaps they were even imported. And he walks with a stick to assist his back, which looks like it's a little bit bent out of shape.
Okay. So that is the only thing that really kind of strikes your attention at the beginning of throughout the day. Is there anything else you would like to do, or would you like to continue working?
I think the morning's the busiest time of day because you gotta get all that dough in the oven. Once it's in there, you can kind of go do some other things. So she's just kneading, and then I think she'll get the dough in the oven, and then she'll step outside, the first batch of loaves, and go to the neighbor. Did you see that new guy who walked in town? Yeah, it's dressed real kind of fancy.
Okay, you are neighbours to the blacksmith, Ham and Rose.
I have a crush on their son.
And it's Rose that's there, and she helps around the fort. She's quite a big, sturdy woman. Ham is already in there just banging away. You can hear him, and she kind of goes up. Oh, I didn't see him. No, what did he look like?
He was, he would kind of a little bit worn, like he'd been travelling a while, but he had nice clothes on. Looked like maybe like a smart, learned man of sorts. Yeah, tall. Definitely not from around here. We don't?
You don't get... No, we don't get many of those. I mean, we get a few travellers coming here and there, but, not smartly dressed, intelligent men. Do you reckon he'll want something from us, like a blacksmith or, like some nails or something?
Maybe.
Did he have a horse?
He might need... He did not have a horse.
Oh. Bugger.
I
Well,
know.
maybe he needs something else, like a belt fixed or something that we could do.
Belts do break when travelling sometimes,
They do.
All that time on the road.
Yeah. Ethelfrith, why don't you go have a chat to him? See if you can find anything about.
You think
You're so... Yeah, well, you're so lovely, and, who could resist those rosy cheeks?
Oh, fine. I'll let you know what I find out.
And she gives you a wink and a little nudge and a smile, and she gets back to work.
And she'll kind of brush off a little bit of the flour that's probably on her coat, and a little white kind of poofs off. It blends in with the snow, so it's not like too obvious, but just kind of dusts off a little bit, and she'll go off in the direction she saw Benedictus go in.
Okay, you saw Benedictus go into the tavern.
Oh, all right. I'll go into the tavern then.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'll go back. Pull out some hot, fresh loaves that need to go to the tavern anyways.
Of course.
And I'll bring them with me like I'm making my delivery. Two birds, one stone.
Smart. See, that's why you're the bakester.
I'm a real thinker.
Okay. Father Benedictus, you feel a warm sensation trickle down your throat and into your core, and the lingering taste of barley on your throat. I knew that was going to do it on your tongue.
Who giggled?
It wasn't
The
me
mug.
to laugh.
The mug in your hand emanating warmth, slowly allowing you to move your fingers at ease once again. Sweet relief in these bitter times. Unfortunately, shortly lived, as a vicious breeze of wind pierces the large common room of the inn, as a heavily clothed young woman walks in.
I look up for a minute as though I'm expecting someone to walk in, and then there's a slight look of disappointment in his eyes. This is clearly not the person that he's waiting for.
Do I notice the disappointment as he looks in my direction?
I'm not trying to be like...
I mean, you noticed him look at you, but as soon as he looked at you, he went back to his warm kind of barley tea.
Okay. That was gonna be real disheartening. So she'll go over to the counter and go, "Got your bread delivery." Pull off the cover so that, because the bread, you don't want it to get instantly cold.
Okay. You see Cal, who is the tavern owner. He kind of comes up. He's quite a tall man, broad shoulders. He's got that lovely kind of beer belly, you know, the one that you could just hug. He is balding, but he's got some great kind of like handlebar mustache with him going, yeah. And he even twists it slightly. He's got a square jaw, blue eyes. And he kind of gives you a very warming smile as he kind of brushes his hands on his apron that is a bit muddy, you know, it hasn't seen a wash in probably a good few weeks. And he kind of, Ethelfrith, thank you so much. And he takes the bread. I've been waiting for these. I'll tell you what, the village will be eager to taste these in a few hours. And he kind of
good.
like, so how are you doing, my love?
Oh, good. Figured, you know, it's a bit chilly today, so I'll get the delivery in early. She'll kind of...
Would you like some tea?
Oh, I'd love a cup of tea.
Right, hang on. And he kind of
Take
goes
that
over and...
Look over at the visitor.
Okay. Benedictus, what are you doing?
I'm brooding. Actively brooding. I'm
Active
looking
brooding.
back
Not
towards
passive.
the door. No, it's very active. It's an active choice. But yeah, he's I mean, he might cast a glance over to the way of the barman. He is considering going up and speaking to him.
Okay. The barman at the moment is over by the fire, and he's kind of like fiddling with the kettle. Well, it's like a pot, really. And looks like he's preparing what he prepared for you, a barley tea.
Yum.
I'll head up.
Okay.
Good barman. Excuse me a moment.
Yeah, what can I do for you, sir? Father.
I'm looking for a man of the cloth, such as myself. Are there any other visitors like myself in the parish?
Not for a few days, no. I mean, you're the first visitor we've had for a while because of these these winds and the snow. I mean, you expected someone.
Indeed. But it seems I may have to wait here a while. Are there lodgings in this establishment of yours?
Oh, we got a few rooms. They're small, but they're comfy and warmer than the outside.
I may get one depending on how this day treats me.
He nods.
And if you do see another priest, let me know.
Of course, I'll let you know as soon as I can. Visitors normally come in here when they pass through the village.
And I start to make back to the table. I haven't yet really taken any notice of Ethelbreath.
Yeah, no problem. So you head back and sit down on the table. He comes over to Ethelbreath and hands you kind of like the barley tea. And he's he kind of lays and he goes, "Yeah, you haven't seen anyone new come in apart from him, have you?"
But from him, no, I she'll get closer, so it's just between the two of them. I actually saw him come in and was real curious, like, so I figured I'd come over with the bread, of course.
Oh, of course, of course.
Has he said anything? Has he done anything? He's just brooding over there.
Well, from what I understand, he's waiting for a person of the cloth, you know, another father or monk. I forget
not
which one
Taylor.
it is. No, I don't think so.
No, not that kind of cloth. Gotcha. Right.
No.
So he didn't give a name or nothing, did he?
No, he never gave a name or anything like that. I think he's quite private.
Oh, well. Do you think maybe I should ask him about it?
I mean, if you want to. I mean, there's only one way to find out.
I mean,
Don't worry. I'll be here. I'll keep an eye on.
here's your
And if he
cat.
gets-
Got out from the back again.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, just put Tesla down. That'd be fine. Yeah, go on. Yeah, you got. Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on you, just in case,
All right.
you know, like he's weird, and you know, and then you come back here and tell us about it. Yeah. Okay. And he kind of, in the most obvious way possible, gets a random cup, gets his thing, and kind of like leans on the thing, and he kind of constantly. It is just completely obvious that he's just looking at Father.
Do I notice him?
And I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not even obvious. It's just so obvious what he's doing.
We're a small
Yeah.
town. Everybody knows everyone, and we're not subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shoot him back a glare.
He coughs slightly, and then he turns his back and starts rearranging things. But every so often, he'll just look back like that. Again, he's trying to be subtle, but it's just not. You know, it's terrible. It's the subtlety of a brick. Ethelfrith, would you like to?
Would I like to?
Would you like to approach Benedict?
Oh yes, yeah. She will. She'll take like a small like a hunk of bread with her. Bread's a great it's something to break the ice. You know, he seems to be kind of icy, this guy, and it's not just the season or the weather. She'll be like, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Could I interest you in some bread on the house?"
Daily bread. Please, I am in your debt.
So you noticed that you seem to be new in town. What brings you here? Just passing through? Staying a while?
I am waiting for a friend of mine, another
Oh, really?
man of the cloth, who is set to meet me here on this day and yet he seems not to have arrived. I fear that the weather may have delayed his journey.
The weather has been awful nasty lately. What's his name?
Do we decide on a name for him, Tom?
I don't think we did. Let me just double check. My notes.
Check your
Oh,
notes.
yes, we did.
Tom.
It was
We did?
Brother
Okay.
Tomothy.
Ah, brother.
Tomothy.
That sounds like something we made up in 2 seconds. Yes.
Something
Father
that Charlie
Tomothy.
made up in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Tomothy.
Yes.
I've never heard of a Brother Tomothy, have I?
No.
No. I can't say I've heard of him, but I'll keep my eyes out for you if he comes into town. I'll
Thank
let
you.
you know. My name's Aethelfrith Baxter, by the way.
That is
Pleasure to meet
quite
you.
a name.
Thank you, my mum gave it to me.
I'm sure she had ideas above her station.
I mean,
My name is Father Benedictus. It's a pleasure.
it's lovely to meet you, Father. Are you going to be performing any services while you're in town?
I don't plan on staying long. I'm on a pilgrimage to Rome.
That is so far away.
Yes, far warmer
Really?
climes than we have here.
Yeah, I can't even imagine or dream of travelling that far. Wow, you must be quite a traveller and a learned man to go all the way to Rome.
I have been called upon. It is my duty.
That is impressive, Father Benedictus. But I'd hate to take any more of your time. But it was lovely meeting you. And if you need anything while you're in town, my mum and I have the bakery just right across the street there. You can smell baking bread most of the time. And just, let us know.
This bread is very good. Thank you, child.
She'll give a little curtsy and back over to the bar like, he's on a pilgrimage to Rome.
Oh,
Don't know how
what?
much of that you... A pilgrimage? You know,
What's
one of those
that?
fancy, religious person travels.
Oh, that makes sense. Where's Rome?
It's... Okay, so... I've never been myself, but I've heard that it's real far away. Really far away.
What, like East Anglia?
Far... It's across... It's like... Further. Just keep going. You gotta go through France.
What?
And then... Oh, no?
It's going to take him a long time to do that.
It's got to take him, so he might be dead by the time he gets there.
In all
I don't know
fairness,
how
by the
long it
looks-
takes. I imagine years. And it doesn't...
From- Well, oh no, I don't give much for his chances. But shh. You shouldn't say that. I'm sure he's
Especially in this
faithful.
weather.
Right,
I'm sure...
right,
Yes. Ace, if he's a father, I'm sure, it'll carry him through.
yeah.
He said he's
His
been
faith.
called upon.
Ooh.
I
Oh,
know.
he seems important then.
He seems really important and, fancy.
I might give him the best room we got. It's got
Oh,
2 buckets for the piss.
I didn't even know you had a room with 2 buckets.
Oh well, we don't like to spread it around. Everyone will be, wanting it.
I'll keep quiet about it then, yeah.
One of the rooms says no buckets.
Yeah.
Essentially, what happened.
All right, well, I've got to get back to the bread. But, let me know if anything exciting happens. And she'll
I'll let you know.
scurry off to
Okay.
take the bread out of the oven and put more loaves in.
Okay, and you go off back to work. It's not long, Benedictus, after, say, half an hour, that the door opens again, and yet another young woman, not in as many clothes as Ethelfrith was, but still wrapped up as warm as she possibly can. Her hair kind of bunched up and behind this kind of hood to keep the cold from her as much as possible. And she looks around and she sees you and kind of sheepishly kind of shuffles over. And she looks down and she's kind of fiddling with her hands. And she, excuse me, Father.
Yes.
I'm not disturbing you, am I?
Yes, you are. Why?
It's just that I've heard that fathers, they can like listen to problems and try and help solve them, and I'm conflicted, Father.
What is this confliction which ails you?
And she down and she kind of starts squeezing her fingers. It's a confliction of what my duty is and what I think is right, Father. I mean, how do I know which one to do if they're at odds?
Take a seat. Barman, another one of these mediocre medleys of yours.
And he'll kind of nod and head on over and get another drink. And she very slowly sits down in the chair. She sits quite far away from the table. She didn't kind of tuck it in or anything. She's very clearly kind of pointing away, and she's kind of facing the door. So like at any point she just bolt. It's kind of that feeling that she's really struggling. She's nervous about being here. The barman comes and puts it down, and he gives her a gentle kind of warm squeeze on the shoulder, and she kind of relaxes very slightly, and then he heads off, and she's just kind of holding this warm drink in her hands, not taking a sip, but trying to warm her hands.
Well, he's visibly impatient and has been souring the longer he's been sat in this cold little tavern waiting.
But well, I mean, how do I do? I mean, how do I choose?
Choose what?
But between like doing my duty by my
Which
promises,
is?
And she kind of looks down and she pauses for a moment. I'm sorry, this was a mistake. And she kind of puts the thing up and she starts to get up and head to the door.
I don't stop her, but I say, wait.
She
Explain
stops at the
yourself.
door. Could you roll me a... How are you doing this? Are you trying to intimidate her or persuade her?
I think it's a little bit of that priestly intimidation that
Okay.
She's started a conversation with God maybe, and that's a conversation which has to be finished.
Okay, roll me an
and,
intimidate, please.
As Will's making this roll, I want to say shout out to Chaos Chorus because we have hit our second retweet goal. We're on our way to our third.
Oh.
So, Tom, that's one random sanity loss, please. And also, you had donated to you a crit success, Tom, from the wonderful RPG.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Okay.
I rolled a 55, and it is a success.
Okay. Lindy, roll a 1d6, please.
Oh no, it's me. 1.
Okay, you lose 1 sanity. I will get
Okay.
to the whole
That could have been a lot worse.
reason. Could have been a lot worse. It was a 55, a success. Okay.
Yes,
She
sir.
pauses for a moment and turns to you and and it's kind of like she's almost got tears in her eyes, but she's fighting it back, and she goes, "You can't help me," and she kind of moves out and closes the door behind her.
Barman.
And he comes back to you and goes, "Yes, sir. Would you like another barley tea?"
No, I wish to return this one. She didn't drink it.
Oh, sure, no problem. And he picks it up and he kind of, he essentially keeps it for himself and takes a sip. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Who was that girl? She seemed upset, and you seem to know her.
Well, we all know each other here, Father. That was Carol. She's been struggling a bit recently. I'm not sure why. I don't know, maybe troubles with her husband, but I don't know.
I see. What kind of troubles? She seemed afraid.
Well, we're a close-knit group here, and we help each other out when we can. But if someone wants privacy, we give them privacy. You understand? And she's asked for privacy, so I don't know the details.
I'm not sure you understand, good sir. She asked for my help, the help of the Almighty, and it is His will that she be heard. And if there is something which troubles her, she must be helped.
Roll me another intimidate. You're using the Almighty to kind of push.
I'm going to be doing that a lot.
Yeah.
57 is also a success. I got 60 in it.
Okay. He pauses for a minute. Myself truly don't know the problem. But if you really want to find out about it, I suppose you could try talking to her husband. His name's Jim. He lives just across there. He works in the fields.
See. How long have they been wed?
I think this is 2 years now, rough around that time.
What did you say your name was?
Kale, Father.
Well, Kyle.
Kale.
I will be taking Kale. Very well, Kale. I will be taking that room with as many buckets as you have.
Well, we got 2 lovely, shiny, semi-clean buckets waiting for you in the room just there. And you can see, as you look at the door, there is a door to it. Not all rooms actually have doors, but this one's got a door, and there's like a star kind of graved into the door, into the wood, to try and signify kind of, ooh, it's special. We got a lovely straw bed in there. Got some wool blankets for you as well.
That will suffice, Kale. I will go and see this Jim, but if a man named Father Tomothy enters this establishment, you will come and find me immediately.
Of course. Sure,
Very
Father.
good.
And he'll kind of go into the back.
I pick myself up with a sigh, leaving my half-drank barley tea, and head in the direction that he said this gym was at.
Okay, so you head outside. As you head outside, you can see 3 people walk into the village. One upon a horse, one guiding the horse, and the other just walking to the beside it. It seems like there's another visitors entering the village. It gets a few looks from...
Did I see them as I went to get the bread? But I had to get bread and I couldn't do anything. Oh my gosh. So many people in town today. Oh, I don't think that's a success. No. I don't
You're too
notice. I was
busy.
too busy with Bryn.
Yeah, you're in
Yep.
the oven, handing it. You got like so much stuff to do, so much stuff. And you look in the direction of where the barkeep pointed, and you can see a number of people there. It's kind of like they seem to be repairing a fence out into a field. There's about 4 people there, all male. You have no idea who Jim looks like. And that's all you have.
Okay. I'm actually gonna divert away from the potential gyms and move towards the newcomers because
Okay.
they might have seen my dear friend.
Okay. At this point now, it has started snowing again. And the wind is picking up. It's getting quite chilly. Well, chillier than it was. And Father Benedictus, you start to approach these 3 people. Lady Alice, Sanah, and Thorn. You see a man approach you, wrapped up with wearing robes.
Greetings. I am Father Benedictus. I see that you've just come in on the road, and I was wondering if you might have seen a companion of mine.
Hello, Father. Do you know what this companion of yours looked like?
Much akin to myself. Man of the cloth. You would have recognized him, I'm sure of it.
Tom, does this look like the popsicle we found on the road?
Roll an intelligence for me. An idea.
Oh, famously intelligent. Oh, 14. Ooh. Yeah, I'm smart.
I mean, you didn't see a face, but the clothes that person was wearing certainly looked like robes to you. Quite similar to what he was wearing.
Well, I'm sorry to inform you, Father, that he didn't make it.
What do you mean?
Well, I found him, frozen under his horse. Bit way down the road.
There's a flicker of a smile on the father's face. And then he says, Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our defense against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, thrust into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of souls.
Hasn't he got a funny voice?
Thank you for bringing me this news. Ill though it may be.
I regret it wasn't happy news, Father.
But if it makes you feel any better, he went out having a lovely cuddle with his horse.
And who might you be, miss? You don't look like you're from round these parts.
No. Lady Alice Hornwright, lovely to meet you.
Does that name mean something to me, Tom?
Roll me a intelligence.
Oh, I rolled d12s, I'm bad. But I almost got an identical roll. 23. This is success.
23? Not Alice, but the surname of Hornwright rings a bell to you. They are a considerably wealthy family in the surrounding county. You do know, there are rumors of a certain daughter that has had troubles trying to wed. But that's pretty much it. All you know primarily is that she is from a considerably wealthy family.
I I believe I am familiar with your father, at least in passing. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Is it?
What
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
what brings you to this place, if I might ask?
Oh, just traveling about, trying to find my new husband. Well, in a manner of speaking.
Well, I doubt you'll find anyone in a place like this, but perhaps a few towns over.
Oh no, you
I
don't
would-
understand at all. He's everywhere. It's fine.
Ah, the Holy Spirit. Yes.
What?
I shoot a glance to the other two, like a little quizzical eyebrow.
You get like a little shrug in response.
We're taking her to the convent.
Ah. Very good. Sister Mary is a most stringent minister of the faith.
That's a fun word. When I get there, am I going to have to talk like him?
Most like, my lady.
Oh. Oh gosh. Wow.
Well, I myself am on a pilgrimage. It will take me in the same direction as the convent, at least for a time. I would be, he shoots a glance back to the other two, happy to assist in this matter of faith.
Father, and as a knight of the realm, it is my duty to guard and protect.
Alice has got completely distracted from this conversation by a passing cat.
Cat passes by. It's cute.
Yeah.
Sanah.
What?
Is he after a cut?
No. He's just going to come with us for a bit.
All right. Sounds
Your
good to me.
name, Sir Knight?
Sanah, Father.
This is Sanah, the great, the noble conqueror of hedgerow, of villain, and of sweet, humble village hearts. Bring a
Everyone
cowbell.
in the village just looks at this. This squire I mean, Ethelfrith, you hear this. You absolutely 100% hear this. You
Stick
see
my head out the
doors
window. I open the shutters. It's like
People-
that scene
what-
in the beginning of Beauty and the Beast. It's just
Yeah. Like, the guy's halfway through chopping an axe and he just stops. Everyone in the hat, with the blacksmith stops and just
got a
has
big
look.
smear of flour on my face. As I open the window.
All you hear is just like wind, and an exceptionally large snowball just goes across.
And Sanah
across,
it initially looks like she wants to die a little bit at the cowbell, but as everybody starts to look at her, she just kind of does a nonchalant hair flip and the
As
slight
you do-
hero's pose.
The hair flip, the clouds open, and a bit of light just shines down on you as you do the hair flip, and bits of snow just kind of glisten in the light. And then once it's over, the clouds come again, and it's normal.
Sanah is on a noble knight's quest from the king. Well, could be a king.
Right,
And
Thorn, thanks.
who
Thanks.
are you, young lad?
I am but humble Squire Thorn, sir. Father.
He leans in. And when's the last time you confessed?
What do you know, Father?
I am only joking with you. It's not a Sunday after all. Well, I have a matter to see to, a matter of God. But perhaps I will see you at the tavern later.
We'll be arranging a room for the night for Lady Alice, so you can meet us there, Father.
They have a few buckets.
Per room or per the tavern?
per capita. And I head off.
Is there a cow in here? I could have sworn I heard a cow.
No, it was me, Lady Alice. I rang the bell to get everyone's attention.
Oh. Do you?
That's why the cows wear the bells, so you can hear them when they're coming.
Or do most knights have a cow? Is that what
We
this
couldn't
is?
afford the cow as well.
Oh gosh, what a shame.
Thorn, do you want to help Lady Alice with the things at the tavern? And we can, get us settled in, and we can go and live up to the name Hedge Knight, because we'll probably be sleeping in a hedge again tonight.
I'm going to head towards the gyms.
Okay. So
Going to the gym.
Father's going to the gym.
Lady Alice is helped off the horse, and Thorn guides her to the tavern. So Sanah, if you want, there is a stable, and if you want that horse to survive the night, it's going to have to go into the stable. It's fine. The person there just greets you, takes over from the horse, ties it up, and you're free to rejoin your companions.
Sorry to interrupt, Tom, but we just had a
Yes.
massive donation from KP
Woo!
Lantern with a £50 donation.
Oh.
I'll have a look at those
Wow.
details in a moment. Thank you so much, friends. So glad you could be here.
You could just throw it to the crows, it's much quicker.
You'll notice the wind is certainly beginning to pick up. It's snowing a lot heavier now, and it is getting kind of visibly uncomfortable to be outside. But Benedictus, you see the men just repairing the fence. Because of this change of weather, you can see them kind of like packing up all their tools. It looks like they're going to abandon for the day.
I call out, Jim?
As you call out Jim, all four of them kind of look up and turn and look at you.
They all say yes at the same time as well. Yes. Is there a Jim here among you?
A kind of tallish, slim man, steps forward. The other three are quite broad. He goes, "I'm Jim. How can I help?"
Might we have a word in private, Jim? My name is Father Benedictus. I have a matter to discuss with you.
And he looks at the others and roll me a persuade, please.
These locals I'm having to persuade. That is a failure.
Okay. He kind of. I'm sorry, Father, but I got cleared up, and the weather's getting crazy. I gotta head home. I'll be in the tavern later today if you want to chat. Then I'm sorry, but I got. Come on, lads. And they all kind of start picking up the remaining planks, the tools, and they kind of just start heading away from you.
Going to see Carol?
He kind of pauses for a minute and looks, and yeah. Why?
She came to speak to me in confidence about a matter between the two of you.
Oh? Hang on, lads. And he kind of puts the thing down, and he kind of heads on over to you. He's considerably
I
tall.
smile. I smile because I know I've got him. Yeah.
Yeah. And he heads on over. And he goes, "What did you say? Is she in trouble? What's wrong?"
She said, "Give me a moment while I fix my webcam."
Okay. It's a bit odd, but okay, I'll do that.
Yes.
dear.
Not sure what's gotten into her, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. And he kind of he looks at the others a bit warily, and they're kind of looking at him. but they're slowly trotting off with all the tools. He's given them the okay to go ahead. And he turns back to Father Benedicta and goes, So, is she in trouble? Is there something wrong?
You understand, son, that I cannot share the private details that she spoke to God. But,
So why are you here then?
well, it seemed only right that I follow up on this matter. Have you noticed Carol acting strangely of late?
And he thinks for a moment. I mean, she has been a bit down. It's getting it's getting really cold, and I thought it was because of that. You know, she's struggling to sleep. We don't have as much blankets as some. I'll do my best, and I guess I have been working quite a lot, getting this fence fixed before the, real harsh weather comes in.
Let's try and read him. Is he...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I think it's an insight, right?
Sure, I'll roll a dice. And
Or a
take
spot
look.
hidden.
Well, I rolled an 11.
No, I think
so
it's more of an insight.
like a psychology type one? Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
it's insight
I
or
don't
something.
think they have psychology in this.
Yeah, I think insight is probably the
It's insight.
translation.
So
So it's a success. Yep.
it's a success. You genuinely believe he is telling the truth. He's getting visibly worried that perhaps there's something that may be hurting his wife, or there's something wrong with her. He's genuinely worried.
I say perhaps it's best you go speak with her, son. Check in with her, and if there is any further problem, then you may come speak with me, though I will not be here for long.
Right. Thank you, Father. I'll go do that right now. And he picks
kind of
up
got
the
this.
thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say he picks up, the remaining tools that he had, and he starts to run. Jog. Partly to get out of this horrific weather, partly to see his wife.
He kind of Benedict has kind of got this look that he thought this was going to be interesting, and then suddenly thought it wasn't worth him fucking around with people anymore. So he kind of shrugs, and seeing as it's getting so cold, he will just head back to the tavern and think nothing more of it.
Okay.
He does this a lot, poking his nose, his priestly nose into people's business. See what's going on.
You head back into the tavern. Sarek. With the light failing and the wind howling, you can barely see before you. The snow being kicked up and swirled around your face. Each step seemingly like agony, as exhaustion and cold strikes hard against your body. The trees creak in screams, the wind laughs in joy, and a single muffled thump behind you. Without even looking behind, you understand. The last of your traveling companions, 6 in all, have succumbed to the cold.
Osric, he turns and looks back just to confirm. Takes a deep breath, walks back to check his pulse to see that he has, in fact, succumbed to the elements.
It is it's icy to the touch. I mean, you barely feel any warmth whatsoever. It's almost like a miracle that they made it this far.
Yes. Such is life. And he hoists his broken spear, which has like a side of meat, like a leg of a horse, like skewered on it. He hoists it back on his shoulder and kind of tears a piece off and begins chewing on it. As he continues walking, he knows he's close to this town.
Okay.
So he just looks down and keeps willing one foot in front of the other.
Okay. You roll me a constitution roll, please.
Okay. 70. Yeah, that's a hard success.
Brilliant. Okay, so although the cold is biting into you and it is hard, it's nothing that you haven't experienced before. You know these lands. And you push through. And the sheer determination to know that there is warmth nearby is helping you push forward. However, it is now almost completely dark. So could you give me a navigate roll, please, to see how quickly you can find?
Ooh. This will be interesting. I do not find my way.
Okay, no problem. So at this present moment, you cannot tell where the path is. Snow is just covered everywhere. You're trying to look if there's a gap in the trees.
Yeah, is there a tree nearby that looks like maybe I can climb it a little bit?
There are plenty of trees. Yeah.
Well, then I want to try to do that if I can use that to kind of push the roll.
Absolutely. Roll me a climb.
This probably won't be that much better.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Good start. Good start.
And then he dies in the...
You start to climb, and you get about 6-7 foot off the ground until your foot kind of hits a branch and it just snaps, and you lose your entire footing. You just fall down and hit the ground as snow just kind of billows up around you and just flats on your face. The freezing cold just goes throughout your entire body. You will lose 1 HP for the fall as it hits your back. And you are now pretty much sopping wet. You are soaking wet. Yeah.
Awesome. Did I get high enough to possibly spot the light of the town on the horizon before I fell?
Unfortunately not, no.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, then Osric will just continue, get himself up, brush off as much of the snow as he can, and continue to head in the direction that he thinks this town is.
Okay, no problem. No problem. All right. Sanah. Sanah. Sorry. I keep putting an R in there for some reason. Don't know why. Your muscles in your arms scream at you for relief. Veins bulging and a vice-like grip shared with another. Sweat begins to stream down your temple as your jaw locks from the strain. A foul stench assaults your senses as a leathery, wrinkled face locks eyes with you. A sly smirk etched across it. Sanah, I would like you to roll me a strength check, please.
Ooh, okay. That is a success.
Okay. You, with this vice-like grip and this burly, quite elderly, I say elderly, he's in his, what you would guess is his 40s, which is elderly for this time. He's got a grip and that sly smirk, and as you see the sly smirk, your arm just, your muscle cuts tenses, boom, and he's already down, and the smirk is instantly wiped off his face. A look of shock, and he doesn't know what's happened. A look of panic, and he's and he tries again. Roll again for me, please.
Okay. Success.
Okay, and this is almost too easy for you. And he's kind of, and you just kind of, how would you like to defeat him? How would you like to kick this guy's ass?
She does. So he's straining, right? And she brings him up to the middle. She's toying with him, right? She lets him think he's gaining ground. And then as he's really straining, she just kind of looks away, reaches for her drinking horn, drinks, and just pushes his hand on the table.
and you slam the hand on the table. It echoes as flesh hits wood, and a wretch, and he's and he kind of like stands up and slams his hands on the table and kind of looks face to face. And he goes, "You know what we do with people like you?
Go on, enlighten me.
We buy you a drink." Drinks! And he everyone's cheers, and Kale comes over with a big mug of this kind of frothy substance, and he sits down nursing his arm. He goes, "Oh, I wish my sons were like you instead of the weeds that I got." And you see 3 stout, burly men, teenagers, all nursing their arms, going, 3 that you defeated just earlier. And he's like, "Right then, down the hatch," and he kind of just downs it very quickly. Right, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Fallon. What's your name?
Sanah.
Ah, Sir Sanah. A noble knight, eh?
Some do call me that, yeah.
So why are you so noble? What's so noble about you?
What do you mean, what's so noble about me?
Well, why are you a knight? How'd you become a knight?
How'd you become a knight? Well,
Yeah.
I'm changing accents here. This is how you become a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the drink.
Well, I guess it's the drink. Does stuff to you. Well, you grow up. You get good with a sword. Gets
Right.
put in your hand, and then you're sent off and say a couple of vows. You do a quest of 3, and then you're a knight.
Right. I mean, that doesn't sound. Is it easy? I mean, the
No.
whole kind of quest thing. I mean,
Got it, Fallon.
what kind of?
Fallon. Yeah. Fallon,
Yeah.
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 How many men you kill?
None. I'm
Well,
a
then
farmer.
you're a knight then.
Right. So what you're saying is, you need to kill someone to be a knight.
It's got to be officially sanctioned by the crown or the church. Not just killing anyone.
Oh, right.
Because then it's a
So-
murderer. Right.
Right. So it has to be the crown and the church, because we got a father just over there, and he's sitting. And Benedictus, where are you sitting in this common room? That is a lot busier than previously.
Probably in a corner. He's somewhere quietish.
He's
The brooding corner. There's the
brooding in
listener.
the corner. Over there. So if I were to get sanction from him, that's not enough.
No, because then there's this whole thing where you've got to get anointed by holy oils, and then you've got to swear an oath, and then you've got to get your sword anointed, and then you've got to pledge your life, and it's a whole thing. Yeah. Oh, this isn't like I don't just go home on the weekends, and have a nice little husband with little kiddies. Like, this is a lifelong position, life and limb on the line.
That seems a bit too heavy for me. I just like to work the fields, come here, have a drink, go to bed, work the fields. That's what I want.
Yeah, but you know what? I wanted this since I was little, so it's not bad.
Hey. And he kind of like puts his drink down, and he kind of edges it and goes, "If it's what you want, you go for it." Because that's all that matters.
Right?
Really?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right. Now I'm gonna go get my 3 useless sons a drink. You have a good night. Night. And he gets up and starts to waddle over to his sons. He hits one on the back of the head and heads on over to the bar. Thorn and Lady Alice, what are you doing at this present time?
I'm brushing Lady Alice's hair. She has a lot of it.
Yes. And I'll just be sitting there, like, looking around, absolutely baffled. It's almost like there are Christmas lights on in this room. There aren't. But it's that sense of wonder.
Okay. The bar barkeep comes over and he goes, "Oh, is there everything all right over here, my lady? Would you need anything else?"
Oh yes, it's lovely, isn't it?
Thank you. It's very generous of you. Not many
never-
people say
I've never seen walls like this. What's this made of?
shit. Oh,
lovely.
I mean, manure and mud and stuff.
Oh gosh, aren't you clever? Did you make it yourself?
Well, I didn't, but my father did.
Oh gosh, an antique. Lovely.
Right. He looks to Thorn. Are you all right? I mean, do you want anything?
I'll have what Sir Sanah's having, please.
Coming right up.
From across the bar, you hear Sanah go, "No, you won't."
I won't have what Sir Sanah's having, please.
Small beer for the lad. Thanks.
Right. Okay. I'll grab you a small beer.
Hey, you
Yeah.
own this place, right?
I do.
How much is it per night for a room?
Per night for a room? Well, normally, right? It's
Right.
it's normally like a few pennies here and there. But because, like it's absolutely, I mean, I would be awful to throw you out, right? So you could
You would,
sleep in-
and I'm with the very good Sir Knight. As
Yeah,
you can see,
yeah.
a champion among men and
Right,
women.
Right, okay. I'll say you could sleep in the common room, all right?
No.
Do I hear this? Do I hear this going on, Tom? I'm like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to be watching people.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
I stand over and I say, "My good man, Kale, I can think of someone else who was refused safe harbor. One very important night, told to sleep in the stables. Can you think of that person,
I
Kale?"
mean, she's quite important, but I wouldn't say she's very important yet. But maybe by the end of the week.
She had someone
That
important,
person-
though. I know one.
That was Jesus, Kale. Do you know who Jesus is?
I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Give the boy
mate.
one of your worst rooms. It doesn't need to have a bucket in it, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's good because it hasn't got one.
But says you didn't
I know,
understand. I can
I know.
afford a bucket. And she reaches into that pocket and he pulls out that 50-penny coin that Lady Alice had flipped into the air.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
I mean, I don't want to spend all of this on the room, but be nicer than the ditch, you know? And the common room is very nice, but a bit of privacy would be good. A knight has important business which local commoners do not need to see. Anointings and such.
Right, of course, right. Yeah, I've got a room for you. Don't worry. It's with its own bucket. Yeah, don't worry. We got a bucket for you. Tora. And there's been a kind of like a young, quite small, but quite skinny barmaid going around, kind of zigzagging, taking drinks, giving drinks, and she comes up. Yeah, he goes, make sure there's a bucket in room number 3. All right, this Squire, is it? Is that your title? Squire.
Yes.
Squire Thorn is gonna have it, and he nods and winks at her, and she kind of, okay, I'll do that. And she heads off. There'll be a lovely bucket in there for you.
Thank you. And thank you, Father, for stepping in. It was most generous of you, and that is a very good story. I'm very familiar with that one. I like the bit when the sheep come in.
Yes. That.
Sheep are very nosy and they like to wander into things that have no business, but sometimes they wander in and there, boom, baby Jesus.
He's
Where
the,
did the
he's the
lad
one that they make us
himself
sing those dreadfully boring songs that are all one note, aren't they?
Yeah, away in the manger. A manger, that's like a stable, or it's a trough in a stable, or Maybe it's the baby. No,
Does
that
God
doesn't
not
make
write,
any
like,
sense.
Like lots of notes.
Father?
Do you want just 2? So da 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 da. It's. You would have
Really
thought he'd want to
depends
spice
on
it up a little.
who's singing it. There are, in these parts, very few good singers, but in Rome, you should hear the choruses. Quite
Do
something.
you sing,
Oh gosh.
Father? Lady Alice is very fond of songs.
Oh yes.
I have been known to sing, but today I'm afraid all I feel
got
in
a
my
sore
heart
throat.
is sadness.
Is that why
my
you
dear
talk like
friend.
that? You've got oversung.
There is nothing wrong with my voice, but
Of course not.
I merely have sorrow in my heart, and perhaps in my voice too, for the
Well-
loss of my friend, Father Timothy.
Oh, may his soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Oh, he's the one who was cuddling the horse.
Oh,
So Timothy,
I'm very
horse
sorry,
cuddler.
Father.
Oh, that's lovely.
No, yeah.
Ethelfrith, I assume you go the common room at night like everyone else in the village?
Oh yeah, it's warm and you can gossip and talk to people. It's great.
You hear all of this.
There's so many new people in town. She almost doesn't know what to do with herself. She's practically quivering with like excitement. There's just so many people. Perhaps the most relatable person in this group would be Squire Thorne. She's overheard. And so she will come over with her mug of barley tea, and she will say, "Excuse me, Sir Squire. It's welcome to town. I'm the town bakester. Well, one of the two, and I was wondering if you wanted a roll." Just pulling out of like, my apron pocket.
Very generous of you, Lady Bakester. Let me introduce you to the fine Lady Alice. Beauty, unbeknownst to any in the land bar herself and God, to whom she has sworn herself.
Oh, is it too soon to come up?
Oh, I wouldn't say no. Yes, I suppose that's how we're announcing we now. Is it?
I don't know. Should I redraft?
I mean, I have been beknownst once before, but we're not supposed to talk about it.
Oh. Different kind of cuddling.
Yes. It's very, oh gosh.
Would you care
Goodness,
for
they're
some
delicate,
roll,
aren't they?
Lady Alice?
The father harumphs.
And Thor's going to tear that roll in part and give Lady Alice half.
Oh gosh, thank you. What's this?
It's bread, milady.
Oh, it's really fresh too.
I baked it today.
Oh gosh, aren't you clever?
She's not used to be calling clever. So she's, well, thank you, milady. Where are you all travelling from, if you don't mind me asking? We just don't get a lot of people that come through town.
Oh, we just came from over there. Like, just much further away. I just point at the direction we entered town.
That way.
That way? I hear that there's some nice towns that way.
There's a really big house that way, and that's where Lady Alice came from, and we're walking the Holy Road.
A really big house? Well, I suppose a lady would have a really big house.
Is it a holy road? I mean, there were some puddles and things.
It is a holy road, ordained by Jesus.
Oh gosh,
You
I
looked
forgot to
uncertain
sing.
about that.
Oh, I bet it's doubly blessed now that the dear father has left his mortal accoutrements on the ground, forever cuddling his horse. At least he's not
Yeah.
alone.
Who is doing
God
what
rest
with the
his soul.
horse now?
Oh, he was having a lovely long cuddle. You know, the big cuddle. The one where, you know how frightfully delicate men can be.
The longest cuddle. Lady Bakester.
Slam! The tavern door opens, a massive gust of wind just comes in.
Oh, thank God.
And you see a quite stout and a burly man standing in the doorway. Osiric, before you is the common room, full of laughter. The warmth hits you. It's just ecstasy of this warmth just hitting your face from the cold. Everyone turns to look at you, and you see Bram. He's in there. He gets up immediately with a worrying look.
You see a man a little bit over average height for the day. He's about 5'8", but he's about 4 feet wide. He's solid. He's old. He's covered in snow. Like, he kind of shakes his head a little bit, and it falls everywhere from his temples and his chin, as time has added its own. And he flops down a big side of meat that is on a skewered, a broken spear. He throws that to the ground and looks up. Kale, you're gonna need a mead.
Yes, my lord.
I have some horse meat for the stew.
Of course, my lord. Of course. And
Chop.
Harry comes over, and he picks up this frozen bit of horse meat, and he kind of nudges Tora, the barmaid, to give him some mead, and he rushes behind. You hear in the background, you can hear kind of it's a bit of just back and forth with someone there, and he kind of heads back out by the bar. It'll be a bit. Well, we got unfreeze it, but it'll be ready as soon as we can.
That's for everyone.
And Bram,
and he kind of now looks around the whole room. It's like, be about your business, as he takes the mead.
Bram comes over. Bram is kind of he's wearing probably the finest clothes that you've seen in the village, which isn't particularly fine, but considering this is a farming village with lots of peasants, compared to that, it looks pretty decent. He's got a balding head that has kind of wisps of kind of grey in hair around the sides. He's got kind of a thick grey moustache with little bits of black still in there. He's quite portly. He's got, again, a robust stomach. And he heads up to Osiric. There we go. And approaches. He goes, my lord, I didn't. Are you well? Are you okay? Why did you travel in such weather?
Well, it wasn't my intent, but the weather snuck up on us. Should have been here yesterday, but we got caught in the worst of it. All my men failed. I'll be needing some paper and pen to write letters. I'll need the 2-bucket room tonight, if you don't mind.
And he kind of pauses for the moment, and he goes, yeah, sure. Of course, my lord, of course. And he grabs
desperately thinking about where he can get more buckets.
He grabs the barmaid.
If only there were a town bucketster.
Whispers in her ear. She nods, and then kind of heads off. Yeah, my lord. I'll get that straight away. And he gets back to the cooking.
All right, and Osiric just finds a random table to sit down at, and holds his empty cup up to be refilled.
I mean, you're holding it up, and the barmaid, Kale is there. He's kind of got one eye on you at all times, making sure that, if there ever needs a refill, that he's there. And the second he sees you just kind of waiting and looking at the mug, he's immediately there with some mead and pours it for you and then heads back.
Mhm.
Everyone kind of gives you a respectful nod or a bow, but they carry on as they were.
Yeah, and as he sits down, he kind of looks over. Aethelford, is it?
Yes, yes, my lord.
That last batch of honey wheat. Very good. Thank you.
Oh, good. Would my lord like some more? I could have it baked in the morning.
Sure. I don't foresee leaving for a few days at least. I regain my strength.
Of course, my lord. I'll make sure it's baked first thing.
He pulls out a small clay jar and slides it over to her as it's like sealed with wax. And it's a small pot of honey.
She'll nod and take it and put it in a nice inner pocket of her apron.
It probably feels really heavy. It needs to be thawed.
It's partially why it's in the inner pocket. To start warming up. She's like, oh, it's cold. Did my lord have a good trip?
And he looks at you as you see like a cut on his temple that has like a sheet of blood down the side of his face that's long frozen, and his eyes are dark, deep set with huge dark circles. And he just
Aside
says,
from the weather?
it was troubled, but I survived.
Well, good to see you alive, Sir Osric.
Yes. You as well. And he just kind of goes back to sipping his mead.
she'll give a little curtsy and go back over to Squire Thorne. Just kind of going back to the previous one. Cuddling an horse just sounds awful sinful like, but if you say so, my name's Aethelford.
Oh,
To introduce
Squire
myself.
Thorne.
It's terribly rude. Oh, nice to meet you.
And as I said, this is Lady Alice, most beauty. Yeah, you got the spiel.
Yeah, I
Who
got
is
the spiel.
that?
Yeah. Oh, he's the alderman. That's Lord Osric.
Did he say he brought horse?
Yeah, he brought a s'mores.
Side eyes, Sanah.
Looked like a leg.
Well,
Should
good
be some
eating
good
on a
stew
horse.
tonight.
It'll go nice
Mhm.
with the rolls that you brought.
Oh, you think so? Oh, I thought it might. I heard it was tonight. It is Thursday, so there's usually stew on Thursdays.
You
compared to
must
soup
be-
or broth.
Really thirsty, being a busy bakester and all. When you have some of this, and Squire Thorne will hand over some of that small flagon of beer.
Oh, I'll just have a sip. I've got my tea here. Got to keep it warm. She'll politely take a sip. Thank you.
That's a good idea. I wonder if they'll warm up the beer.
I wouldn't count on it, Mr. Squire. How did you become a squire? I've always wondered the process involved.
Well, Sir Sanah recognized the greatness in my heart, the noble stance that I had as I trudged along the road, and my promise. And said, "Oi, lad, you want a job? My horse needs washing." That was when Sir Sanah had a horse. And then we didn't do so well. And now we don't have an horse, but I do have my cowbell.
It's very impressive cowbell. Looks like fine craftsmanship on your cowbell there. If you needed any cowbell repairs, the blacksmith here in town is very good. Or if your Sir Sanah requires any mending of anything, or any metal working done, or sword sharpening that she doesn't want to do herself, the blacksmith here is very good.
What's the name of the blacksmith?
Benedictus's eyes have just glazed over at this point.
You see Rose give you a wink as you're saying that. The blacksmith's name is Ham.
Ham.
2 M's.
As in the meat?
don't know how to spell. So, I mean, it's a lot like that, yeah, but it's a little different.
You're not meant to eat people.
He does have a lot of meat on his bones. You have to have all that muscle for, hitting the hammer.
I think Sanah just very casually does that, puts her arms around her head, leans back, and just flexes. Yeah, I'd know about that. Yeah.
Oh, you look pretty strong too, says Sanah.
Yeah, I am a little bit, yeah.
Sanah's stronger than anyone you'll know. You should bring the blacksmith in and they should have a fight. Like an arm fight.
Arm wrestle thong.
Oh.
That's the one.
Well,
Nailed it.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if Anne particularly likes arm wrestling, but, I mean, if it wouldn't be degrading to Sanah, I wouldn't mind giving it a go.
And she sort of, because she's been sort of reclining, she sits up and she clears off the table and pats it and puts an arm up. And there's a little cheeky smile on her face as she does.
All right. She'll roll up her Baxter sleeve, and
Okay.
she's plump, but you can tell there's some muscle under there.
I just now remembered how big Lindy's strengths are.
I'm going to quickly set up a poll for chat, so chat can vote on who they think is going to win this little arm wrestle. And at this point, Tom, could we pretty please resolve our retweets, because we also smashed that 40 retweet goal, which is 2d6 luck. So that's one random person is losing some sanity, and one lucky person is gaining 2d6 sanity.
Okay, so this lucky person is Sanah. She gets.
Well, I thought that Lindy already got the D6 of sanity loss.
No, this is to see who gets it.
Oh.
So you get 2d6 of luck, Sanah.
This is for the luck, yeah.
Oh, 2d6 luck?
2d6 luck.
Yeah.
Did you get another 1d6 sanity loss then, Charlotte?
No, that's right. I missed that you'd given it to Lindy. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Add
Add that to your
Nice.
lovely. So while this is going on, while everyone, they're setting up for thing, Osric, what are you doing at this present moment?
Osric, after finishing his second cup of mead, is finally looking around the room, and he sees like what's going on with Sanah and Aelfred, and he's known Aethelfrith for a while, and so he just kind of act like his dour face you wouldn't expect it, but he lets out a little chuckle as he looks at Sanah and shakes his head. But he does notice Lady Alice, and he kind of straightens a bit and walks over. My lady, is it?
Oh, hello. Gosh,
I
am I
am
supposed
the
to know who you are?
I am the alderman of this county, Osric Sin. Welcome, and if you need anything, please let me know.
Oh, thank you. Oh gosh, that's nice, isn't it? Did you come here specially?
Well, I was passing through, but I feel it's my place to at least introduce myself to the nobility in the area. From what house do you hail?
Gosh, aren't you funny? Isn't he funny? He's so
And
formal.
you
I
see
lean forward a little
lot,
bit and it all gets a bit cleavagey for a second.
and
Mhm.
you see a lot of villagers kind of like hide behind their drinks as you do that. I mean, a lot of the males have been looking at you all night, Alice. I mean, you are that.
It's a risk.
Yeah. And as you kind of move and get a bit cleavagey, you see a lot of men go across their legs, kind of move to one side.
Yeah, Osric you don't see him like look down at all. It's not a very attractive man at all. He's been hit in the face a lot. His face has seen conflict. Both ears are pretty cauliflowered. He's been around the block once or twice, and he maintains decorum as he just gives a slight bow.
Is this? I mean, they said, are all the houses here built in the fashion of
And he kind of looks around. He's like, well, they use what they have access to.
Oh gosh.
Sometimes it's hard to get lumber, the rules of the kings and all. So.
That's strange because we passed so many trees on the way here.
Yes, and they aren't allowed to cut them down. Is what I mean. Yes.
Oh gosh. Why?
Because the rules of the kings and all. And now he just like pulls up his drink, is like looking for someone to get him out of this conversation. Like,
I'm right there next to him.
Yeah.
They lock eyes and they go, "Hey,
Father?
Alderman, pleased to meet you.
You as well. You passing through?
Only briefly, on my way to Rome.
His eyebrows raise at that. Like, it's a long journey.
So I hear. But for a time, it seems I will have companions. I look back to the other bunch.
That is true.
While they,
Do you speak the old texts?
I do, if you need a reading.
And then in Latin, he says, "No, not at all. I know the language quite well."
Yeah, Father Benedictus looks impressed. A learned man, uncommon around these parts.
We do what we can to survive.
Might I ask what business you're on out of town?
I was passing through to another place to settle a dispute between some farmers. I didn't want to travel with the winter and all, but they were very insistent, and I have my station to maintain. So here I am.
Well, I look back. Are the other three like still close, or does it look as though there's sort of like this
They're
conversation of?
At this minute, they've just gotten down into the arm position and they're just about to lock.
And Osric turns around and pulls like a couple of pennies out, and he flicks them on the table and says, "That's on Ethfred."
Watch, Lady Alice, this is about to get really good.
I
Who
will
is it?
pretend
Lovely.
that there is no gambling in this house.
Okay, here we go. This is it. The chat has spoken. Let's see if they're right. So Sanah, Ethelfrith, please
Yes.
roll me a strength check.
I already know how this is gonna go.
I don't."
like the
'cause
beginning
I
of
could roll really
Gladiators.
poorly.
Okay.
Oh,
That would be
Yeah,
an
Baker's arm.
extreme success, because
Okay.
an extreme is a
Sanah?
17 for me.
Not
That's
even
fail.
a success.
Okay.
That's a fail.
So Ethelfred, Sanah, you kind of maybe a bit cocky, or maybe it's because you're a bit achy because you did arm wrestle 4, men earlier in the night and have been drinking quite considerably.
Oh yeah.
But you get a little cocky. You kind of like, this peasant, freaking hell, can't do this. Grips hands, and the second they grip, you're down, almost down. You're barely hanging in. Just by instinct, you're holding on. Just a few inches above. You have a chance to get back. Roll strengths again.
She looks just looking at him like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're pretty strong. Seeing as how it's not on the table, but just a bit above it.
Yeah. Ethelfrith, little did you know, is the champion arm wrestler in the county.
Oh.
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 Extreme success.
Okay.
All right.
Do we need to call the healer?
Sanah,
I actually
roll
just
me
hit my
a
ribs. I laughed so
constitution check, and if you get an extreme, you're
the
still
name
in
of the
game.
father and the son.
Okay, an extreme.
An extreme.
That ain't it.
Okay, so you hold. You go, what the? And then you start putting some effort in, and you start raising, and Ethelthryth you're realizing, hang on, she's got a fair bit of strength behind her, and
You're
so
pretty strong.
you decide one
Raising
last
like a good Joe.
big push. You give one last big push, and you just slam her hand down onto
I'm just
the
thinking.
table.
I'm just
Mary.
thinking honey wheat because that's a harder one to knead, and I gotta make that tomorrow. So I'm just like,
And with a loud thud,
It's your
Sanah.
code word.
for the first time. Do you think it's the first time ever, or first time in a long time?
I think it's the first time in a long time. I think early on, before she developed her technique, she got beat, by like a really big buff dude or two. Because, brute strength wins technique sometimes. But yeah. But I think as her hand comes down, she's not angry. She looks at Aethelthryth and like her cheeks just flush a little bit. If it was an anime, she'd go, ooh, big hot eyes.
I go. Well, that was a good round there. It's been a while since I've had anything that challenging. Thank you for the opportunity, Sir Sanah.
You're the strongest woman I've ever met. What's your name?
No. Oh, I'm Aethelthryth Bakester. I'm the Bakester. Well, me mum.
Hi.
Hi.
She's got lovely buns as well.
Without even meaning to, her eyes just go drop down. Yes. Well.
Would you like one?
Yes, please.
I pull out a little roll from the apron pocket.
You must have ever such strong hands from all that pounding.
Oh, yeah, it's all that kneading of the dough. You gotta really work it. Otherwise, it doesn't rise as well. You don't want to over knead it though, and then you gotta lift all the trays. So it's a really good upper body workout bacon, really.
And
This-
Sanah is clearly dealing with many things right now, and she just kind of goes, "Excuse me, I need to. I don't know," and then just walks out. And her cheeks are bright red.
Are you walking outside?
And
or
I'll
do you
look
go into the
concerned
common room?
over at Thorn. I'm like, did I embarrass the night? I'm so sorry if I did. Is it because I won? Are you not supposed to beat a knight in arm wrestling?
Well, usually
don't
if they lose, they
know.
die, don't they? Is that how it works?
She's not gone outside to die. No. I don't know what happens when she loses. It's never happened. Maybe I should go and check on Sanah. Excuse me, coming through.
I feel terrible if I insulted her.
As
So-
Sanah walks by Osric, he kind of leans over and just puts an arm lightly on her shoulder. It's like, don't worry, it happens to literally everyone.
And she just can't even form words right now. She's too in her head about what's just happened.
If it makes you feel any better, you put up more of a fight than I've ever seen.
It's just kind of goes, thanks.
What on earth is this place?
Oh, it's
Well, there's-
Parish, sir.
Land of bread and honey.
Tavern.
Yes. Well, very good work, Aethelthryth.
Thank you. I work real hard, except on Sundays.
Good.
As you
Oh
approach
gosh,
the
yes, because of the.
door-
Oh yes.
As you approach the door, Susanna, and you open it up, you open and you see a young, heavily kind of dressed, I suppose you could say knight. He has quite long blonde hair. He's got a smooth, youthful face. And he's got kind of like a curled mustache.
Will would just like take a moment to stroke his dog.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
stroking
My
his-
my secret weapon.
On cam.
on cam. As you see, he kind of steps back. You see two other similarly dressed. They have swords at their belts. They're wearing heavy clothing, but you can hear the rustling of chainmail underneath them. Another one is quite elderly. He's grey and he's got a big beard. And the other one, again, what you say, similar age to the first knight, but this one has got curly hair. It's brown, and he is completely clean shaven. And the first knight, as you came out, oh, I am sorry. Please. And he steps to one side.
And Sanah she doesn't really move out of the way. She says, "Who are you?"
Oh, forgive me. My name is Sir Julien. This is Sir George, and this is Sir Maciel.
And she puts she does a kind of like a little salute. Sanah.
They nod in respect, and they. You are leaving? It's such a cold night.
Taking a moment to get some air. It's a bit cramped in there.
Of course. Do not stay out too long. Not want you to get too cold. So.
I'm from somewhere much colder than this. Don't worry about it.
He nods, and you can see he turns to two other people that you didn't quite see. One of them is dressed like a priest in priestly clothes. He's kind of like quite similar to Benedictus, probably a bit scruffier though. And another one is kind of like a young teenage boy. He seems to have a big kind of like pack on him, and he's kind of handling the 3 horses, and they're heading towards the stables.
Mind if I just ask why you're in Parish? Sorry to keep you outside in this weather.
They're getting cold and they're shaking, but courtesy has to keep them out here. He pauses for a minute, Julian, and he says, "We are here on church business."
Oh? What kind of church business? Is it from one night to another? I wonder if our particular quests intersected somehow.
Roll me a persuade.
Oh, shit. I don't think that's gonna do it. Let me just double check. Nope.
Okay.
Very much not.
He pauses for a minute. With the greatest respect, Sir Sanah, it is church business, and it will remain church business. If you will excuse us.
By all means. Oh, don't forget to ask for a room with a bucket. They're apparently in low supply around here.
Thank you. I will. Come on. And he heads in, and the 2 knights again give you a short nod, is it in respect, and they head in. Everyone in the common room can see this happening. Thorn, as you're about to head outside, you see these quite tall knights come in. You hear the chain kind of as they walk in, and they have a look around. All eyes kind of look at them briefly, and then go back to what they're doing. And they head immediately to the tavern keeper, Kale, and start a conversation with him. Thorn, are you following Sanah outside? Okay, you follow her outside and hopefully close the door behind you, because if you don't close the door, someone else will.
Yeah, pull it shut against the wind.
Okay. Is anyone else inside doing anything, or would they like to do anything, talk to anyone?
Be keeping an eye on this priest and the knights if they walk inside the tavern.
I mean, it's a few minutes, and the priest and the young kind of teenager that was with him walk in too, and they kind of just hover around the 3 knights.
Just keep an eye on them for now, then.
Okay.
I'll be watching them as well, but almost in the way a child would watch a carnival going down the road.
Do I know the priest? I guess maybe not, but I might.
you know what? Give me an intelligence check,
Yeah, sure.
an idea check.
It's a success on a 17.
17? 70 or 17?
17, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, you actually know this priest. It was from a good few years back, but this is Father Vincent. The last time you heard of him, he was heading to Francia, which is France, to kind of like just get closer to God, to study their way of how they do it, and stuff like that. Basically, just gone on a pilgrimage to France.
Yeah, I guess I'll head over and,
Okay.
as soon as I recognize him, say, Father Vincent, you're a long way from Francia.
And he'll turn and he'll pause for a minute. And Father Vincent, he's in his 50s, he's quite old. He'll pause and he'll try to recognize you. And it takes a few minutes. Not minutes, few seconds. And
He just looks at me.
just like... he goes, Father Benedictus?
That's right. It's been quite some time.
It has. Please, take a seat. And he sits down.
I have to say I'm surprised to see you here. In fact, I was expecting another one of our order, Father Tomothy, but unfortunately he passed on his journey here, frozen to death.
And you see him kind of close his eyes for a moment and mumble a few quick words, and then look up. He is with God now.
Truly.
So, why were you waiting for Brother Tomothy?
He was to join me on my pilgrimage I've been asked for by Rome.
By Rome, Father? A rare honor.
Indeed. One which I am eager to answer.
Of course.
But, yourself, was it Rome you were headed to as well? I'm in a full knowledge that he is not going to Rome.
He smiles, and he... No. I am accompanying the young Sir Julian here with his companions, Sir George and Sir Marcel. They are on church business.
Oh. I'm not Cthulhu. Very good. Is there something I might be able to assist you with? Church business, after all.
He pauses. Roll me a persuade, please.
Nope. Failure on a 96.
Okay. He smiles. You are a servant of the church, Father Benedictus. But you have not been called to this particular calling. I think it would be better
Sure.
if you concentrated on your pilgrimage. Distractions.
Indeed.
I
Quite.
get up and sort of toddle over to them, just totally vacant, smiling. Oh, hello.
Okay.
Look at you with all your lovely things. How are you?
He looks
Lady Hornwright.
directly at you, looks to your chest, instantly drinks, looks down. Lady, did you say Hornwright? It's a pleasure.
This
Is
is
it-
Father Vincent.
Oh, who's father?
It is our title, good lady. Father to...
Oh, yes, of
flock.
course. I'm always forgetting those ones. Are you having
What
a nice time fathering?
Apart from the beastly weather, it is reasonable. What brings you to this village? Are you accompanying Father Benedictus?
Oh, a horse. It's outside.
He pauses, looks at Father. Yes, I mean, is there a reason why you're here.
Oh, I see. Oh no, I'm being taken to the what's the word?
Convent
That's
with
the one.
Sister
Yes.
Mary.
Oh,
And
Sister
I
Mary.
give Father Vincent a knowing look, like
Yeah, he nods.
Sorry.
Yeah, he nods in a kind of mocking kind of, oh yes, she's gonna have a good time. I see. It is always good to see the ladies devoting themselves to the church.
Is it? Oh, lovely. My father's donated so much money to that place. It's always nice to know you're going to end up somewhere lovely.
I'm sure that they put that money to good use.
Are you?
Of course. Of course. I mean, are you excited to be
Well,
part of God's flock?
Flock. I don't
Family.
do sheep. Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, it's going to be lovely. I'm rather looking forward to the whole, all the,
He looks
also,
at Benedictus.
casting off of
Go
all
ahead.
my worldly goods and whatnot.
I looked at Father Vincent. Yes.
Because it's so terribly difficult out here,
Of course. It is a troubled and difficult life working. But under the grace
it?
of God, oh yes, I'm sure you will find out soon.
I'll just get really close to him, like, I don't understand your words. Are they always like this? You're funny. He's almost as funny as the other one.
Almost.
He's genuinely uncomfortable now. He doesn't know what to do. If you will excuse me, my lady, my brother here, we were discussing church matters.
Oh, you're related? How lovely.
I think it would be easier just to say yes.
Would it? Oh, good.
Yes. Are we not all brothers and sisters?
Oh, wouldn't
in
that
some
be
way?
lying, Father?
No,
Oh, yes,
because
you're not
we
supposed
are
to do
all-
that.
We are all brothers and sisters in the eyes
That's
of
a very
God.
good point. See, you're so wise, Father.
But I'm supposed to be marrying him, aren't I? So I can't be brother or sister because isn't that a no?
I beg your
This
pardon, you're
hall
marrying
is-
who?
Very large, and yet there are many
So.
people who very close.
Who's that fellow over there with all the stuff? The young one. Is
Oh,
he a
that.
brother as well?
He is a knight. That is Sir Julian.
Oh,
What a fun name.
he just missed the nightly arm wrestling.
Really? Well, I don't think he'll. Sir Julian, and he kind of looks and he heads on over. And he goes, "Yes, Father. What is it?" And he looks at yourself and he kind of bows low. And
Hello, are you going to be my
smiles.
new brother?
He pauses and looks at Father, and he kind of raises his hand. I don't believe so. I am a knight. What?
Oh, haven't you got a fun voice?
It sounds very foreign. Like far away and fancy.
Indeed, I am from Francia.
Oh, it's lovely. Say some more things.
So far. Yeah, keep talking.
And he's genuinely like, and the father is kind of like just sitting back, thankful the
Like,
attention's
oh,
off him.
good.
Yeah, he's just, and then he's put this poor young
Tell me about
bastard.
Frankie.
Well,
Is it cold this time of year there too?
It can be a bit chilly. Yes.
You ever cuddle your horse? They're
No.
terribly warm.
Sounds sinful.
I-
It still sounds really sinful.
I
I was gonna if I was you.
if you please excuse me, I can hear my servant talking. Goodbye.
Is he not supposed to talk?
And he
Yes,
heads
he
over
was.
to the other three where the little boy was, and he kind of orders another drink immediately.
I turn to Ethelfrith. These gentlemen, they're so easily distracted, aren't they? They can't keep a thought in their head. They're all flitting off.
Well, I mean, you know what my mum says about the men folk. So they're, they may be the head, but the woman's the one who turns the neck to put it in the right direction.
I don't know what that means.
Like the head of the family, the man's the head of the family and the lady's the neck.
Oh.
She points him in the right way
Neck.
to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can't do it without your neck.
Can't you?
No, try it. Try not moving your head and not moving your neck.
I just move my feet to face the other direction. There, look, I'm
It's a
doing
lot
it.
harder though. It's harder though, isn't it? It's
It
like
feels strange. It
you
feels
know.
very strange.
it does. Mm-hmm.
Oh, necks are terribly useful then. Oh, yes, that's
It's
much
pretty
easier.
great.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
As
if only
this-
more gentlemen
The
understood
hour
that.
grows late.
As this insane conversation continues, so Sanah and Squire Thorn, you're both outside. Is there something you wanted to talk about outside? Do you want to have a conversation out there about what happened?
I don't even remember what just happened.
Yeah, you and me both.
Oh, I do actually have something to tell Susanna. Susanna, good news. Don't have to sleep in the ditch tonight. I've acquired us a room.
Good work, Thorn. Is that with that penny you picked up? Well, pennies.
I mean, I showed them the penny, but they didn't actually take it. So technically, room is free.
Good work, my lad. And she ruffles
And the
his
father said, we're like Jesus, me and you.
hair. Now, Thorn. That's a little bit blasphemous. Comparing yourself to our Lord and Savior is
I
just
said
a
like.
little.
It would have been blasphemous if I'd have said we are Jesus, but if I say like, people, aim to be godly and good. We aim to be like Jesus, brothers and sisters all sharing our bread and our beer and our rooms in the inn because it's warm and it's fucking freezing out here. Sanah,
Right.
why are we outside?
Language.
I'm sorry.
All I'm saying is it straddles that line between blasphemy and inappropriateness. So perhaps maybe not in front of the church folk we say shit like that. We're supposed to be like Jesus, right?
No straddling in front of the church folk.
No straddling in front of the clergy. Yeah. No cuddling.
Could both
horses
of you roll a constitution check for me, please?
Tom's gonna kill us.
I know.
Death by
You die.
hypothermia.
That's a
No
success.
force. You die. Susie, could you please roll for me? I can't get into the thing at the second.
Yep, we'll do.
Thanks, friendo.
That's a 57 for you.
That's an epic fail.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
What constitution do
Tom.
you have?
How many
Yeah.
points can I spend to make a fifth? How many points can I spend at once in your
You can
games?
spend as many as you want.
I will spend 57, 12 points to make that a success.
Bless
So as this
you.
conversation continues, Susanna, you can feel the cold. It is cold, but you felt worse. Well, you like to tell yourself you felt worse. Thorn, you're freezing your bollocks off, and it's getting to you. You cannot stay out in this cold a second longer. You just need warmth.
Are we done? It's kind of cold.
Thorn, you got a snot icicle. I can see it. It's about 3 inch long.
New record.
Yeah.
My bell's
Gonna-
freezing off. Can I please go back inside?
Save the bell.
I will.
We don't want. No, not making that joke. Go on, get inside. And
You hear the rattling
Sanah-
of the bell.
Sanah follows him in. nearly reddened from the chill outside. But she's avoiding eye contact at the minute with Aethelfrith because she just can't right now. She just can't.
Oh no, I did make a med.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Are you gonna stay? Are you gonna stay out there much longer, or are you just gonna wait a little bit and then head back in, just to compose yourself?
It's like a couple of seconds.
This is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of having an ice cold shower, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She even gets like a bit of snow and puts it on like the
Yeah.
back of her neck and like rubs her face in it and.
Okay. So after that, after you calm down, you head back in and try to avoid her for the rest of the night. The night continues on, and people start to head back to their homes as quickly as they possibly can. And those remaining will go to each to their rooms, unless someone wants to do anything else. Ethelfrith, you head back to your house.
Buckets.
Yeah.
Okay, so Benedictus, in your room, you enter your room and you do not see a single bucket in your room, but you do see the bed. Thor,
Kale!
says Sanah, and Lady Alice, you go to your room. There is one bed in it. You do not see a single bucket in your room. Osiric, you head into your room. You see 2 buckets in your room and a bed. Benedict, you scream out for for Kale. He heads
There's a dog in this room.
over. Oh, sorry. Come on. And he gets a broom to try and shoo it out. Sorry, that's the next door neighbours. Unless you want to keep it, could keep you warm.
Kale, there are no buckets in this room. As far as I
sorry.
can tell.
Sorry about that, Father, but unfortunately,
How
an
does
emergency
one
came
dog
up.
equal 2 buckets?
Well, the dog. Well, you see,
Sorry,
with a bucket. Well, you see, with the bucket, you got to fill it up, but with the dog, you don't have to. It just licks you clean.
I'm not
premium
going. I'm not going
Passing
to
out of this
question that.
tavern.
See, when
Be
KP
firm,
Lantern, when KP Lantern donated to give us pets, this was not what was being thought. I don't think.
What are these? Is that the terms of service coming down upon this room? Very well, Kale. Let's never speak about this again. Take the dog. Well, actually,
You are
I'm not
looking
sure
more
you
clean.
should.
Right.
Oh god.
Right. Good night, Father. And he just heads off.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Really
Too good. The dog's name is Bucket, so therefore,
Smart.
it works.
I see.
It
I
works.
see.
Well done, Pruitt. Thank you. Saved.
Nice.
Okay, so you all head to your rooms and try and get as comfortable as possible. I know Lady Alice, Sanah, and Thorn, who's having the bed, who's having the floor.
I'll just get into the bed without even thinking about it.
Okay.
It's a
where are we
bit-
supposed to excuse me? I'll poke my head round the door to see if I can see the tavern keeper.
You don't see him, but you see the barmaid, Tora, who kind of.
I'll go and talk to the bar. Hello, sorry. There's there must have been some sort of misunderstanding. There's no bucket in my room.
Oh, no, there was an emergency.
Oh really? Oh, how awful. What sort of thing?
A room needed the bucket, so we had to use it, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought this was a multi-bucket establishment. I must have misunderstood.
I mean, it is, but it was a rather big emergency.
Right. Oh, well, see, this is very unfortunate, you see, because it's, with us ladies, I really am going to need one. If you could see any way to just finding one for my room, that would be lovely. I'd like to try and
roll
charm
me.
this young lady.
Yeah, do the charm.
Okie dokie. That's definitely a plus.
Okay.
Success.
She kind of And she kind of looks at you as a kind of like, I want to be that. I wanted to have all this, like, oh, I wish that was me. And she kind of pauses for a minute and goes, oh, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Okay.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thanks awfully. And I just give her the same coin that I threw at the crows.
And she, Jordan, okay. And she kind of just scurries off.
Can I make a suggestion, Tom?
What's
So I imagine Squire Thorne has had like all of this going on, and she hears that flick of a coin. It's like, I know what that was. And pops head around the door and says, I heard there's a very good blacksmith if you're short of buckets. Or of course you can always go to the Badginarius if you have one of those in the village.
I only understood 3 words that you just said. I'm sure she can find one from wherever they put them.
Okay. So she heads off to try and find a bucket. Everyone gets into their rooms, tries to settle down for the night. About 15-20 minutes pass until you hear a loud scream coming from outside. Just an ear-deafening scream. Everyone can hear it.
Fox mating season again. That's so awful.
Sanah is up straight away. She's got her sword. She's pulled on her shield. She's not wearing her armor. She's in like a loose shirt. But she's straight out the door to see what's going on.
You burst out of your room, and you can already see like the 3 knights, because they were sleeping in the common room, and they're already kind of like looking around up. They've taken their chainmail off, so they're just in their like night clothes and stuff. And those 2, they're also grasping for their swords. But you are so quick, you're used to this, Sanah, and you just grab it, shield, and start bolting out of the door.
I'll come bursting out after her. It's like, no, wait, Father said that I shouldn't go anywhere without you. But I'm also in my underclothes.
Okay.
Osric is leaving his room, unsheathing his sword. As he does it, he sees Lady Alice. Says, now, lady, you should probably at least stay in the room. It might be safer until we.
I'm sorry. I'm just doing what Daddy said. Are we going fox hunting? How lovely.
I stumble out in my priestly vestments.
Okay.
What was that sound? Couldn't sleep.
Foxes, it's that time of year, And I do a very jiggy movement.
Yeah. Osric just doesn't hesitate for another second. He just kind of starts to say something, closes his mouth, turns, and walks outside.
Okay. Anyone else following?
I am. I'm a little bit late because I got to throw all my layers on, but I'm on my way.
Okay. So you
can't let Lady Alice out of my sight.
Get as many layers on as you can. I kind of see that you're hopping as you're trying to put on your boot as you're going through the common room, but you eventually get on and just run back out. Anyone else?
I'll follow if they're going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, not like running, but I'll grab my stick and walk down.
Ethelfrith, you would have heard the scream yourself.
Yeah, no. It's just me and me mum, and there's a scream outside. We stay in bed. We maybe put a chair up against the door, and then go back to bed.
Okay, no problem. You do that. Okay.
Make sure the window's shut.
So Sanah, you head outside first. I would like you to roll me a listen check for me, please.
Okay. That's a 4. That's a success.
Okay, you pause for a minute, wait for the scream again, and you know exactly where this scream is coming, and you just bolt straight to it. Everyone else who's just come out just follows you. The village, you can see kind of lights being turned on, torches being lit, as people kind of open up, look out of windows, opening the shutters, and you see this poor kind of the woman, kind of thin woman, just there in the cold, just staring at something on the ground. You recognize her as Tora, the barmaid.
She immediately pulls up. She's got a shield raised. The sword is drawn. What happened to her?
And she's just staring, and she just raises her shaking hand as she's still wrapped up, and she just points onto the floor. It's quite dark still. Do a spot hidden for me.
A 10. That's got to be a success.
Okay, you can clearly see that there is something, and it looks humanoid shaped, but you're gonna need a light to actually see any details.
Okay, so she holds up because she can hear people coming with her, right?
Yeah.
So she's gonna just hold up and like make sure she's got Tora here, like behind her, behind the shield, while she waits for everybody else to arrive.
You kind of
hopefully bringing some light. Yeah.
Okay. No one brought light, so everyone comes, and you can just see kind of like this mound on the floor. There are people going around and they are lighting things, but they're staying quite far back, seeing what the fuss is about.
She looks over to the other knights assembled in Osric, and sort of gives that sort of watch my back kind of look. As she leans down to investigate this lump. She has to get pretty close. It's dark.
It is pitch black. It's just dark. This is it's just complete darkness. It's over clouds. There's no stars. There's no moon. It's just complete darkness. So you can feel around if you want, but it'll be a severe disadvantage to find, or to determine what it is. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, let's poke the dead thing.
Okay, you're going to poke it. Do a spot hidden for me, please.
That's a 23, which is a success, which is a hard success even.
Hard success? Okay. Is anyone else going to do anything while she does this?
As Osric approaches, he's going to yell back for one of the people who are lighting things on their edge. He's going to yell for light to be brought over.
Okay, no problem. You start yelling for light, and before long, Bram, the village leader, starts heading towards you. So Sanah, as you're kind of feeling around, you can quite clearly feel that this is cloth and there is person there. And you start feeling around until you touch something very sticky and wet. And you move up more and it just continues sticky and wet. And you kind of curl your fingers around something, and it kind of in between your fingers you can feel something kind of not leathery but fleshy, and and you pull back, and as the light comes and illuminates, you can quite clearly see you've got your hands in a gaping slashing wound off the chest of this woman. Massive lacerations down her chest that have just torn open flesh. There's part of her arm has been just completely torn off and is just to the side. She's staring in frozen horror, just looking directly up. And Benedictus, as the light comes over and you see it, you can quite clearly see that this is Carol, the girl from earlier. The knights there, and they kind of
Jim.
And they kind of do a like
Jim. Jim,
Giroux.
And the knights there pay their respects very quickly, and they look. F. Yeah, they press F because they can, and they put their hands immediately go to their swords, and look around to the nearest villager, which is Bram, and Julian goes, "Explain yourself. What is this?" And Bram kind of just looks. He's kind of shocked. I don't know. This has never happened before. I don't know. We're... And he looks at every single person, and he kind of steps back a little. I mean, we wouldn't do this to one of our own. And he looks to Osiric.
Bran, I'm going to need you to gather everyone up. We need to make sure everyone's safe.
Right, my lord.
My lord Osiric, this woman, Carol, she spoke to me earlier today and entreated for my help, though she would not be specific, and she ran before I could get any answers from her, but she seemed concerned with her husband, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. Bran, what can you tell us?
He's a good lad, my lord. He works in the fields. He's been fixing the fence.
He seemed concerned for her, but the last I saw him was a few hours ago. I told him to go and speak with Carol.
Well, I'll make sure everyone's all right then, my lord. And he starts heading off, and he goes to his family, and you can see him. He's telling his family to stay inside, and he seems to be gathering people and going to door, with torches just to do a count. They even go to your door, Ethelfrith. They just to make sure that you're okay.
You're a murderer! Don't come in! Oh, it's just you, Bram. You're fine.
Bram assures you that everything's okay. You don't need to worry. We're just making sure that everyone is safe, and you can stay inside and don't come out until the morning. And he does
Good
that to
strategy. We'll do that.
all the houses. But the body still lays there. The knights staring at it, and he looks to.
Are there? Osric is going to look around the body. Are there any tracks leading off?
Do a spot hidden for me, please. Oh no, do a track. Sorry. Yes.
Much better at that than spot hidden. Oh yeah, that's going to be a. I'm going to spend 5 luck to make that a critical success.
Okay. Osric's going to get on his knees and he's going to start looking around. What is anyone else doing anything at the same time? Anything different you want to do? Nope. Just wait. Okay.
Basically, just batten down the hatches. Make sure everybody's accounted for and present, that nobody's disturbing the area. Setting up a perimeter. Dark Ages CSI going on.
Yeah.
No problem.
Need a cordon for witnesses.
So, Osric, you have a look at the body. You have seen Carol once or twice before. She hasn't really talked to you, but it's just in passing. You start looking around the body, and the snow has been incredibly heavy, very heavy. But you notice something. Only an expert tracker would be able to see something like this, due to the heavy snow. And you can see there is a soft sprinkling of fresh snow on a certain place. And then you kind of follow it, and then there's another. But these strides are far too great for a single person to do. This could be someone like 10 foot tall.
He calls over Sir Sanah, and he asks you to take a stride next to this, and just kind of looks up at you like wide-eyed at that realization.
And then you again follow another and another, and it goes further into the forest around the village, and you think back to the corpse of Carol and how it was slashed. And this wasn't done with any blade. This wasn't done with an axe or anything like this. This is like a ferocious animal attack, but an animal attack you've never seen before. Something different. And you don't know why, but in the back of your mind, you just think it's there, staring at you. And it gives you an uneasy feeling. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Yeah. Whew.
Oof. Well, would you like to do outros? It's been a while, but...
Oh, yeah, sure, I can try. Is there anything that we need to mention channel-wise? Because we've got a stream coming up, right?
We do. Right after this, we have Coriolis, Last Horizon, the wonderful flying Cirrus Shauna is boldly leading a brand new crew to the Last Horizon. I've heard words of wormholes and ships that are falling apart and conspiracies and space pirates, ? So that is all coming up in a few minutes, not long from now, on this very channel.
Yeah, stick around then if you're here in the chat. Thank you guys there in the chat. That was very entertaining reading your guys' messages today. I had a lot of fun doing that myself. But yeah, let's go around a custom crew. Do we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you guys online? Let's start with inimitable keeper of arcane lore, Tom. Great job tonight, man.
Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun to do. I had to kind of speed things up a little. Because you know how chaotic you guys can get. It's brilliant. It's
I don't know
so
what
funny.
you mean.
It's amazing. I couldn't.
Totally normal people, thanks.
I was totally willing to just chill and watch you just talk for the rest of the show. It would have been great. But I felt the show needed a bit of horror at the end.
It was
just a
somewhat
little
lacking
bit.
in corpses.
Yeah, so I mean, we had one, but it was frozen, so it didn't really count. But so we'll add another one, just throw one in there. So thank you all. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you everyone in chat for donating, and you guys are fantastic. Hope you enjoyed it too. My name, you can find me on Twitter, HotFlakesTom. I think this is currently my only game at the moment because after the 5 is on our break for the season, so we come back for season 4 in a few weeks' time, I believe, or whenever that is. But you can always catch me on Encounter Roleplay's Discord or Black Cat's Discord or wherever.
Awesome, great stuff, and it was great to have Pruitt back with us today. Pruitt, how's that for you, my friend?
Oh, it's great. It's good to see all of your bright and shining faces. It has been a while. I can't wait to be able to play with y'all again. It might be a little while, but, Osric has alderman-y things to do, but I'm sure that y'all can ply your violence without him. I am Jay Prue, one half of WebDM. You can check our videos out on Wednesday on our YouTube channel. Coming up later today, I'm going to be GMing in my Symbaroum game over on the WebDM channel, so come check that out if you're free. And other than that, y'all have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Hollywood.
You can find me here, usually behind the scenes at the moment for the mini-series because there are so many games happening, so I will be running those shows. But Mondays, I am GMing The Wall, our brand new Song of Ice and Fire game here on Encounter Roleplay. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern. And on Friday, I'm going to be playing in The Haunting of Seawell Orphanage, our it's our original horror game, GM'd by Jonathan Fry. So super excited for that. And you can find out all about that over on our World Anvil, which I will throw over in chat. It's got an interactive map. It's got all the rules for the game. So if you wanted to play, you can get all of that information there.
Fantastic stuff. And Bakester extraordinaire, Lindy, how's that tonight for you?
Oh my gosh, the roll-off between me and Susie, that arm wrestling was insane. And I'm betting my only good rolls for the entire campaign, so, it was worth it. You can find me online, eagerly anticipating next week, at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I play and GM a lot of tabletop RPGs. You can find me in 4 hours, 4 hours on my channel, streaming Ravenloft. So if you like spooky stuff, then check that out. Just follow me on Twitter for all the rest of the things. Oh, if you also like spooky stuff, we have our once-a-month Aliens campaign this Friday at, I believe, 8 or 9 Eastern, probably 9 Eastern, on my channel as well. So it's super scary. I'm super hyped.
Great stuff. And Susanna Grace.
Oh my god, no matter what universe she's in, Sanah will always be robbed of her rightful victory. Thank you, Lindy, for continuing the curse. But I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace, the variety streamer who is back up and running as of tomorrow on my own channel, which is twitch.tv/Susanna Grace at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT. I'll be playing a video game or something. Other than that, you can find me here on Encounter Roleplay on Mondays for Dr. D&D, where I'm the beleaguered producer, and of course here for Pendragon's Parish. Other than that, like Tom said, we will be on After the Fire, me, Charlie, and Tom, when that returns in season 4 in a couple of weeks' time.
Great stuff. And Amelia, how was that tonight for you?
Oh, that was so much fun. I haven't played a character quite this special before. This is interesting. Hello, I'm Amelia Tyler. I'm a voice actor for video games. And when I'm not doing that, I'm over here with these lovely people doing ridiculous things, quite frankly. And on Fridays, you can find me over on Table Story playing Max the Bouncer in Facade. I've been living in a building site essentially since lockdown started because yay timing. But hopefully my streaming room will be finished by the end of this week, finally. So you may see me around a little bit more as of next week. Either way, at least I'll have like a functioning room with a door and things. That's always fun.
What about a bucket? That's the real question.
They cost extra.
They really do.
Don't, because that was actually a thing for a while.
Oh boy. Well, thank you guys for joining us in the return of Tentacle Tuesday. It's been great to be back here today, and we know you guys were super excited for this one, and as were we. So yeah, we're looking forward to next week. Join us here every Tuesday at 2:00 Eastern. But yeah, I'll hand over to Charlie to take us out for the first episode of Last Horizon. Excited.
Very little to say other than try not to roll too many nat ones when you're arm wrestling with Susie because it will ruin her day. Everyone, take care. We will see you in a moment with Coriolis.